everybody, and welcome to another ASMR video. I'm gonna have to stop you right here for just a couple seconds. I forgot to give proper thanks to Kenpup ASMR. He made a video similar to this one, but on a game called Interior Worlds. It technically is a different game, but I did take inspiration from this video that I personally love. I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. So, please go subscribe to him, and his channel will be down in the description. But, back to the video. I hope you are having a wonderful day, night, wherever it is, wherever you are. In this video, I will be exploring a game called liminalcore, a liminal space simulator. I will tell you, there are no jump scares or otherwise sudden noises in this video at all. I have edited anything to loud out, aka Steam achievements, and otherwise the only creepy thing is the ambiance of this video. I wake up, or really swim up into this room that is a staircase leading up, and oval and circular lights illuminating the room. The first thing I really noticed was how good the lighting was and how good the water physics looked. I was very impressed with it. The sound design was also phenomenal. You may not be able to hear it because I turned the volume of the game down in editing, because after sprinting, the character would breathe really loudly, and it scared me the first time it happened. Here in a second, I think I edited it out. I did not. It genuinely concerned me because I thought it was something on the other side of the wall, and I was under the impression that there was no entities or monsters. But, it was kind of mistaken in that sense. It spooked me there again, too. I was really hesitant to get in the water here because it was dark and I couldn't see how deep it was, and I just looked down because I was a little spooked. But, I ended up having to do a lot of that, so I had to get over my fear. If you guys didn't know, oh, creepy sound. If you guys didn't know, one of my greatest fears is drowning and suffocation. So this was kind of a spooky start. The architecture of the room didn't make much sense to me. Of course it's not supposed to. This breathing spooked me again there too. But it really doesn't make any sense. This pool here really got me for some reason. I don't know why. I thought I saw something at the bottom of this ladder going in, and then I put it away. I shake my head at it because I say no. But I kept looking at it, and it didn't feel right. But I eventually continued on into this room with two pools that are mostly guardrailed off except for two ladders, and what looked like an entire room below them, which I wasn't too sure about, but I never explored into that because I was too scared to go into the water. Thinking about it now, I can't remember the ability to swim down, so I don't think it was possible. But I continue through here and down these stairs and into this room, which, if you guys know anything or have ever looked into the pool rooms, you will know this scene. It's quite popular, the staircase leading downwards into the water. I was tempted to try to go down. Actually, no, I wasn't. I thought I was, but no. I just straight up said no. I often took these corners very cautiously because I was terrified for my life. This room here was not my favorite. It got very dark very quickly, and you can see me shaking my head no, because I hated it so much. I got a little lag spike, which I never like because it always worries me that a creature loaded in or something loaded in. But I do have a 2070 Ti, so not the best graphics card at all when it comes to that. But this swim was very long, so I cut it down. Nothing really happened. Just me being terrified and keeping looking back. The descendants didn't make much sense, but it is what it is. I swim through this tunnel thingy, and I see to my much delight a slide. I'm shaking my head, yes. I'm nodding my head, yes. I am very excited to go onto the slide. I regretted my decision instantly. It did not give me a, prompt to hit any key. But my gamer instincts hit E, and I'm assuming that's what that was. It felt. I was trying to count rotations, but I have no idea how. I remember I was trying to. But that was very fun, and I enjoyed that very much, and I was gonna go back and do it again, but then I thought the better of it. I did explore that upper area, I just cut it out because I did that earlier and I don't know why I cut it out, but I did it and I'm gonna stand by it. The water here looked very realistic. That I remember swimming in the big indoor pool at the college that my parents work at. And I don't know how they encapsulated it so well. I got a little bit of lag, as you can see here. And I was in fear that something was loading in. And right here, I go to show you the video settings that I am on. Medium and high mostly. I put it all on epic. My computer started being very loud. And if you take off the VHS effect, which you can do in settings, it looks even more realistic. But I didn't want my computer melting, so I put it back on high and medium, which did not actually look that different. It still looked amazing. There is a microphone feedback setting, which I'm not sure how to get that to work. I tried. If I can figure out how to get it to work, or if any of you guys know, in the next video I will do the recording, the audio in while I play. So instead of doing a voiceover like this, which is a little more time consuming, but for some reason the software that I use to record absolutely dogs on my microphone quality. It's still not the best. I'm still not using the best microphone for ASMR, so if one of you guys could send me like $1,000 so I could buy a mic, I would appreciate it. Right, this house, I was just watching and accepting. I'm watching along with you guys. I played this a little bit ago, so it's a little bit new to me. I was trying to jump over the railing, but you can't jump in this game. But the house in the, I don't know, it's a house in the water. The blue tiled walls were very interesting. If you didn't look at them directly, there was a slight orange sheen. This was horrible. I was literally like, I took one headset off, or one of my headphone ears off, and I was playing Katy Perry and like singing along, because that is the only way I can not be afraid. Because when I play scary games with my friends, it's easy, it's nice, I can do it well. But when I'm by myself at night at 3 in the morning, it is an experience. And then right here, the life gets absolutely scared out of me. There is a very loud sound of water and a very loud achievement this, except for like the blink animation, whatever, shut up. This place reminded me of a spot in the Backrooms game. There's a game called Escape the Backrooms, and there's a spot in level 0 that has a bunch of pillars in the dark like this, and there is a entity in there, and so I was very scared. And I was very sad when that was not a way I could go. I stuck to following the lights because that's what I do. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to venture into the darkness. I am not that brave. This next room is quite interesting. This next couple of rooms were quite interesting. This room here had a big hole in it, and my gamer brain was like, jump in. But then I was like, maybe this is the exit, maybe this is the way to the next level, because I know there are 4 levels. And I was like, I want to explore a little bit more. This room had very interesting faces in the water. And I decided to go and touch it. I was like, oh, let me go touch it. Right here was actually terrified. Terrifying. I was scared. There's nothing to be scared of. It's perfectly fine. The achievement made me jump so hard in real life, but there is a camera smoothing feature in the game, so you didn't see it. Up here, there is another face that is a bit more disturbing, and a little water sound that actually scared me so bad. I'm so jumpy in this for some reason. Very, very spooky stuff. And then the path into the dark. And the one time I will go that way is when it's obviously telling me to. And I'm gonna bump the volume right now. And I was not a fan, but in re-listening to it, I realized it was in-game ASMR. Very terrifying, but it was technically kind of ASMR. I literally just took like a 20-minute break and got some water, right? And I proceeded to make a song out of my vocals, which I will play for you as soon as I jump down here. So I'm like, finally, you know what, I'll just jump in. And so I jump in, and nothing really happened other than an achievement and this really loud noise that was really loud just now. I hope it wasn't too loud for you guys. But I noticed there was an achievement for jumping in 10 times, which I didn't do. I only found that achievement after I had left and was looking at the Steam page. So if you get to it, jump in it 10 times or a super cool achievement. I continue through this door, and I come across this, which, for some reason, what really threw me off was that there was no way out of the water. And so, I hypothesized that there was no point in me trying to figure out a way to get to the top of the slide, because if you can't get out of the water, that'd be a game ender or something, I don't know. So, I ended up just going through this door here and into this kind of dark passageway. Darker. It's not super dark, but it's you know what, never mind. But I every time I like will watch, I'm blown away by this game's graphics. I was really hoping like I would walk in here and then like something would happen. That reminded me of a scene in Dune where they like walk into, there's like where they have the baby worms and like the big sand pit, but it's water. You know what I'm talking about. I hope you know what I'm talking about. sorry, I'm losing track of commentating over the video. I head down these stairs here and into this big circular room, and I might need to cut this down. There's a phone ringing here in a second. And it scared the bahookies out of me. That's very loud. Yes, I will have to cut that down. So I only had one headphone on at this point in the video, and so I didn't know where it was coming from, but I guessed it was here. And so I decided to go down into the scary towards the ringing. I'm going to have to cut all of the audio from the game out. That ringing is really obnoxious in my ears right now. But this was probably the scariest part of the game for me. I'm gonna cut it. No, I'm not. You know what? You're gonna sit here with me with it. Very loud sploosh. Very loud phone ringing. And I'm swimming towards something. I can't tell what it is in the dark, biggest pool that I've been in the game so far. And there is loud splooshing noises all around me as I'm swimming, and I look up at the ceiling because I refuse to look down, and I find myself face to, well, not face to face, but face to wall with a house. Whatever. And this was the scariest portion of the game, so if mannequins frighten you, please skip ahead a little bit. There's no movement, they don't move, there's no jump scares. It's just unnerving. There is a table with 2 mannequins on it. Well, no, there's a table with 2 mannequins at it and a phone on it. You cannot answer it. I decided to try to go and explore these, and there's nothing in there, and I was very spooked. I didn't want to turn around and look, and I was ready to go. I was ready to get out. Why am I standing still? I was listening. I think I was listening. But I head upstairs, and I see a little shadow of somebody saying hello. And so I bravely charge up the stairs, and I see a friend. I look out the window here in a second, because I'm trying to find what the point of this house was. And, there was nothing. I found nothing. But then I noticed our friend here had quite the dump truck. Which I appreciate. Respectfully. I respectfully appreciate it. And then here I do ignore the fact that I'm searching up how to deal with this. I didn't know if there was anything in the house, so I'll just skip towards when I figure out there's literally no point. That's not the exit, and I get back to the circular room with the pool. So I get back and I walked up the stairs from that room, and I head straight across the pool. And I head up the other set of stairs. I came from the right, and so I didn't go back to the right from where I came. I went the other direction. And I found 2 ways to go, and this way was very spooky. And so I was like, hey, let's go check out the spooky. Very dark, very odd, and a very fun music cue here, which I'm gonna leave in. It's gonna be very quiet, so if you guys really want to hear the game audio, boo-hoo. I might take the, if you guys want, I will take the unedited version of the gamescape and just post the raw footage of me exploring. I will make edits for when I pause, because I get up and I drink water a lot because I'm very dehydrated all the time. And so there may be breaks, but if you guys would like that, I will just post the raw me exploring with just the game sounds if you guys would like. But I make it to this room with the very green water. I found this very interesting for some reason. It reminded me of Jello, and I don't like green Jello because I ate it once as a kid, and then I threw up green Jello, and so I have always hated green Jello. And yeah, and then I associate red Jello with being sick, so I don't like it. I had the water sounds duplicated up there. I am going to not cut the game audio down because I believe it's at a good volume. Sorry, I said that sentence weird. I'm not going off a script if you can't tell. I'm just kind of going. But it was very ominous sounds coming from that very dark, very large archway. And so I stayed here for a little bit. I was hoping something would pop up, but then I realized I really don't want something to pop up, so I continue. This part was very pleasant to me. It was very, very clean looking, not super sterile, like not too sterile, and the blue pathway was very nice. And then I had to do a long swim here. And while I do this, oh no, I thought this was a different spot. There was another slide here, but this slide was coming out of the roof, kind of looking like a weird dangly wiener. Yeah. I then swam up to these weird pools within pools. I don't know what they were. What I really wanted is to look down and see them go straight down into nothingness, which I don't think that's what it was. I think it was just a weird circular structure within the water. I don't know. Everything in this game is weird. Sorry about that. I had to take a deep breath. For those of you who don't actually make ASMR, I don't make great ASMR, so I can't talk, and I'm gonna pretend like nothing bad just happened to my sentence. But when you're whispering, I forget to breathe, and I've heard somebody else say this. It's hard to take a deep breath. Oh, this part was a little spooky. If you can hear, if the game audio is high enough, there was ominous noises coming from the stairwell that sounded like dying cows that slowly got lower in pitch. It was very weird. I shake my head at it, no, because I didn't like it. This is when I notice it keeps getting deeper. So I just keep listening, and it just keeps getting deeper, and I keep listening. And I'm losing my mind right now, because it is currently like 2:30 in the morning, and I am very tired, but I'm gonna do this because I like making content, and it's the only time it's quiet. But eventually I go. I don't know when I do. Oh, the audio looped right there. And I noticed this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. But what unnerved me is because is partially I'm having a stroke, and I'm gonna leave that in. I'm heading the same way, like on the other side of that wall is where that staircase led up, so I was like, I don't like that. But I come into this very deep pool with another slide that I unfortunately don't get to go down because I don't know where it is. I do try climbing up it, but the game is not fun apparently. Every once in a while, I have to stop recording and then restart recording because when you whisper, after a while, you're like, it feels like your throat kind of tightens up and it feels very tense. And I have to take a deep breath and just kind of get back on track. Yeah, so I'm sorry if there's a decent amount of cuts. I just can't whisper for a long time without taking breaks, and I've never done soft-spoken, but I'll try it. I might try it if it sounds good. But this, I thought it was a room into nothingness, but this was a very, 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 I don't know how many times I'm going to say very, large room. Oh, here is where I try to, I'm doing research here on another, I have two monitors, so it's on my other monitor. I was trying to figure out how to get the voice thing to work, and I never got it to work. I really wanted to hear the echoes and reverberations replayed back of my voice because it would make it so much more realistic or like surreal. I don't know. Yeah, I think it would be nicer, but I never figured it out, so I'm gonna cut to when I figure that out and I just go. So I continue to the right and go down this dark hallway into a dark staircase that goes to a dark I don't know. I don't it's the infinite down pool. I didn't go in it because I didn't feel like it, but this room's lighting was very pleasant to me. I want to be in a place like that with like benches around the outside with a bunch of people and just like chill. Ah, yes, the tunnel that turned into water. This was a bit spooky, and I don't like not being able to see the turn. And this led into a maze. And if you know me at all, which none of you should, because I don't think actually anybody knows about my channel, except for like my closest friend, he does, but I don't, he doesn't know the channel. He just knows that I do this, and he judges me harshly. No, I'm kidding. But I held the left wall, or the right wall. Sorry. This sounds weird. I am currently getting my EMT certification, and when you're referring to injuries, you refer to the patient's left. So the patient's left is your right. So you have to invert what direction, and I'm just automatically doing that with things, which is very weird. But I keep it on my right. I keep the wall on my right. And if I see a room like this, I just skip the room because keeping my right would just be easier to cut instead of making me walk twice the distance. But then I see a green neon sign, and I'm very excited because I was like, yes, following the wall, keeping the wall on my right was very smart, very brain. And then I don't actually know where it's pointing. And so it took me a second. I'm like, there's no way. That's like a big empty no. And so it's gotta be this way. But then there were two more ways, and there was not another exit sign. So I was a little lost. I wasn't sure where to go, but we are getting close to escaping the pool rooms, which it's not, it is the pool rooms, but it's not called that. It's called liminalcore. But, there is a subtle, low music going, which is a little ominous. But here is a tunnel that leads to a room with another tunnel. And I don't actually remember what's on the other side, so we'll see together. Oh, a wonderful bunch of pillars. And scary music. You'll love to see it, love to see it. But, sorry, I had to take a breath there. I continued up these stairs, and in this room, I will warn you, there is a very large snake that I do not see. And then it tried to bring me towards it, and I tried to look at it at the same time, so I missed most of it. But there was a very large snake that dove into the water. But I realized there's nowhere for me to go, so I have to turn around and go back the way I came. Which was a bit of a mood killer, because I was like, I don't like turning around and having to go back. It kind of irks my irk. But I realize there's a place to my left that I can now go that I don't think was there before. So, I take the left into the dark path, and it leads me to a room, which you will see in a second that I remember. That was very familiar. I was like, have I been here before? But then I saw this and I was like, no, I have not. Very new, very weird. I'm gonna have to cut the ladder sound out, aren't I? It is very loud. And, it's funny how often you see ladders in games, and depending on how you live your life, you don't actually climb that many ladders. Like, ladders are a big staple of video games, but in real life you only have like step stools and other like leaning ladders. But then there was this massive slide, and I was like, there's no way I slide because it's straight, but physics be damned, I go. And I was really hoping this wasn't a red slide, that just was one of the ones that I had run into before. And I was actually a little scared something would pop up, but nothing did, except for that. And, I officially make it to chapter 2. I realize realize that thing's eyes are following me. And that was a little spooky because I thought it was gonna move, but he's just a friendly flower. But I had officially made it out of chapter 1. I was actually kind of relieved because I was starting to get a deep sense of dread for some reason with just the sterile white tiles and water everywhere. And I knew my brain was automatically making it overwhelmingly smell like chlorine because there's no vents, it's just pool water. And so for some reason I could actually smell chlorine and it was actually giving me a headache. Very weird. I do continue a little bit forward just to check out what it looked like, and it's more pools. So I'm gonna leave it off here. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day,